So this is my old Sport Cub S2, which I bought plug and play and put an orange receiver in. The last time I flew it, it flew perfectly fine, but the flaps weren't working. So I had it on the bench, and we've tried to fix the flaps now.
Takeoff flaps. Landing flaps.
Yeah, we seem to be getting some sort of flaps now. A lot of bugs around this morning. Okay. Now, can I induce this camera to work? Well, we can try. Where's the button? Yep. That should be working. It seems to be working. The light's flashing, which is a good sign. Okay. So let's see what we can do. Sun's up now. It gets warm rapidly still when the sun's up. It's, what is it, just after Labor Day? The day after Labor Day, September 3rd. So it's... there's still a lot of strength in the sun. It's still got quite a lot of warmth. And the basic air is warm and humid anyway, so... there's still pretty much zero wind. So I think we'll take off away from the sun. Okay.
Takeoff flaps.
Doesn't really need flaps, but I mean... Since I installed the blithering things, we might as well make them work.
Throttle cut off.
Yes. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it wandering off to one side? I thought the trim looked fine. It's not a very powerful plane. I thought the trim looked fine, but it seems to be showing a marked tendency to wander off to one side. Not much wind to speak of, so I don't think it's wind. I don't know. Well, there is a bit of wind now. Yes, I can feel the wind on my back, so I guess partially maybe it's wind, and it's not a very powerful plane. Don't imagine the camera's going to make much difference to it. It's pretty much on the center.
6 minutes.
The camera's pretty much on the center of gravity, and well, it doesn't seem too bad now, but it was doing slightly weird things at takeoff there. Of course, that could also just because one of the wheels was stuck. I did not check the rotation of the wheels, and I probably should have done. Quite a floaty sort of a plane. Not a lot of power. This is still I didn't change anything. I put the orange receiver in because it was a plug and play. I didn't have any receiver in it. Oh, and I installed the flaps. The flaps were an option. I bought this a few years ago as a plug and play. And I figured, well, you might as well put the flaps on. They weren't cut out, but they were marked on the wing, and they gave you the control rods for them. They used one servo in the middle with this rather awkward control rod joining both flaps. Not a very strong arrangement, but then flaps don't need, I suppose, an enormously strong... There's certainly wind. There's certainly wind up there because we're obviously flying forward, but the plane's hardly moving at all because there is some wind from that direction. So, you just need to cut the flaps out and add your own servo and whatever. And the reason they weren't working last time I was out at the field was because I'd attached the servo, as I believe, as it's pretty normal, and as I believe even the instructions said to do, I attached the servo to the wing with servo tape. But over the winter, the servo tape had, since last season, the servo tape had given up. So when you operated the flaps, all that happened was the servo was no longer attached to the wing, so the servo just flapped around rather than the flaps moving. So I put it on, I still put it on with double-sided tape. I used a different type of double-sided tape, that, I forget what they call it, that red stuff that's supposed to be super strong. Not least because I couldn't find my regular servo tape, but also it had regular servo tape on before and it came off, so I don't know, we'll see if this red stuff holds any better. Of course, it's not the end of the world if the flaps decline to function, because you can fly this plane perfectly fine without flaps. But, whoa, there's definitely some wind there. That's the wind under the wings. What is it? Is that Bette Midler? Yeah, I mean, if you up the power, you can loop it. It's not a, what you would call an aerobatic plane, though. But it'll loop, given power. But that's pretty much max power. Yeah, a rotten attempt at an Immelman turn there.
3 minutes.
Oh, I'm a little bit out of practice. I just haven't been flying a lot this year. Also, this plane just doesn't have a lot of power, so it might not do great. I probably wouldn't do great Immelman turns at the best of times. You really kind of want a plane with a bit more power than this. A bit more, slightly more positive roll rate and a bit more flat power. But I'm also a bit out of practice, as I say, because I've had so many other things on my plate this year. I've been busy with other hobbies and whatever this year, so I haven't been getting out and flying anywhere near as regularly as last year. Nah, it's not any better. I really can't do a proper Immelman turn with this guy. And perhaps I never could. I mean, I don't recall. It's quite possible.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Yeah, I should probably land him. And this is not a new battery either. Got some flaps back out. Actually, maybe I never remembered to take the landing flaps in. The heck with it. That's a bit high, isn't it? We'll go around, I think. That was meant to be a landing, but I wasn't.
Landing flaps. Flaps up.
I wasn't. I came in too high. Okay, so let's try again, coming in lower.
Take off flaps. Landing flaps.
Gore. Certainly, the part of the problem is that when you put the flaps on, he billows like crazy, as you could expect.
Take off flaps.
The flaps push him up like nobody's business, of course. And that's pretty normal.
Time remaining 1 minute.
That's pretty normal for any plane, that when you put the flaps on, they tend to go up. Of course, you can always mix in some down elevator. I don't know whether I've got any down elevator mixed in with this guy or not. Okay, we're going to land this time. Whoa, terrible landing.
Throttle cut on.
Did not get, did not get the nose up enough there. Oh dear. Yuck. Dumped the camera in the wet grass there.
Landing flaps. Flaps up.
Yeah. Well, not too happy with that, really, but good Lord. We should be able to land this guy better than that. Okay. Let me just try and dry him a bit.
Throttle cut on.
Okay. And we'll try. Well, we can take that off now, make it easier to get at the button. There we go. Well, apologies for the bad example of the landing, but anyway, the flaps work at least now, and Parkzone Sport Cub.